learn about that, research it, and hunt for that exact situation, because you'll never in our lifetimes have this little weird underground market that is this hunting for an assumable loan, and it would never have the effect that this has, which is, almost 0% interest rates, so it's just, get it while the getting's good. If I was 18, I would be starving to try to get as much of that as possible.
Good morning and welcome to Rackley Radio, episode 2. This is the Rackley team's high energy, high class, high achievers, giving good news and great tips for the greater Little Rock locals. Our goal is to give encouraging, educational, and energizing good news and great tips for all of our friends and family who call Central Arkansas home. And so I'm really excited this morning because we've got our special guest, Jordan Haas, in the house. He's been a good friend for a long time. We've gotten to do deals together, and he's a high-level thinker and a high-level deal doer. And so he's going to talk to us about investments. And we've also got a couple of teammates that are joining us for the first time today, and that's going to be Nathan Brown, Patrick Beam, and Mylan Sides. And so these are some rock star realtors that I'm really excited to get to introduce to our community. If you've not gotten to get to know them, you're in for a treat to get to know these guys. These are some of the best guys I know. And so we're going to dive right in, starting with some good news. And then we're going to go into giving Jordan a chance to share some tips on investing. And then we'll get to give a little intro more deeply into who Nathan is and what he's doing with Savings for Stars. By the way, I'm putting you on the spot for that. And then we'll hopefully get to hear a little bit more. Actually, who knows what? We're going to have just kind of see where the conversation takes us from there. And then we'll finish out with just a little encouragement for what's going on in Little Rock. So to start us out, let's get some good news going. So who's got some good news to share with our people today? How about Mylan? Can you go take us first?
I got you. I mean, it's not breaking news, but it is good news. If you are like me, over the winter weather, we are now less than 2 months away from the first day of spring. So let that sit in your good news bucket today and encourage you, because we got spring coming up. So let's start making some spring cleaning plans, some spring break trip plans. And that's your good news from Mylan today.
I love that. Yeah, we're 2 months away from the first day of spring. That's actually really good. So the first day of spring is officially March 19th. And so that means, spring break trips. Now's a good time to start planning if you haven't already. Are y'all going anywhere special for spring break? I know you got a nice size family, Mylan. Do y'all have anything that you're going to be doing?
We will actually be here. So I'm planning on doing some drastic spring cleaning around the house.
Okay.
And we ended up taking a spring break trip this year. My son is actually graduating basic training in the United States Army on February the 1st. So we're taking an early spring break trip, not from spring. We're going to go watch him graduate and send him off to his job training. And so we're really excited about that.
Yeah, I love that. Any other fun spring break plans for y'all? Keeping it chill.
Not at all. Be here working.
Well, Jordan, I know you travel the world. You've lived in Alaska. You've lived in England. You've lived here in Little Rock. And we all know Little Rock's your favorite place of all those places that you've lived, because it's the best city in the world. And I'm curious, where will you be in this wonderful spring break time?
Well, the first problem I have is this is my first spring break living in the UK. And so it's a 2-week spring break, and I don't know the dates yet. And, that's what we need to figure out first.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is that all of the flights are really cheap in Europe, except that everybody flies at the same time. So, and you can't check your kids out of school. It's a little bit different there. So
really?
Yeah, they literally fine you, so you can pay the government if you want to, but otherwise you can't. So everybody takes vacations at the exact same time, and we'll see. We haven't planned our trip yet, but I did my Ella, my oldest, had a birthday, not this weekend, but the weekend prior. And we went to Dublin, Ireland, just on a short trip, and then spent less than 24 hours there and came back, and it cost almost nothing. It was a really cool experience.
Oh my gosh, in Ireland. Let's go. That's incredible. I want to eat some Lucky Charms in Ireland.
I don't think they eat that there.
Yeah, that's probably the last thing they want there. What is
No, they probably make fun of people that eat Lucky Charms.
Yeah, absolutely. Is there a special spot that you go to?
On culture, though, you'd be
They do?
surprised. Yeah, there's lots of green everywhere, which is, of course, one of their flag colors.
Yeah.
And it's a lot about alcohol, like Guinness.
Oh, yeah.
Guinness was everywhere.
But they start drinking it like, what, 14, 12, something like that there? Legitimately. Yeah.
Well, my daughter is, she turned 12. It was her 12th birthday that we went. And I had her take a little sip of Guinness. And she hating it.
Hold on,
Well, you
your
get
12
to
girls
do it.
having a couple pints?
Yes. Come on. I mean, if ever a time to try that in Ireland, sipping a Guinness is the time. I mean, that's a great way to introduce yourself to. Plus, that'll make
Would be the way.
want to try it too much. Yeah.
Everybody says that Guinness tastes better in Ireland. It's so funny. I think it's propaganda. But it's
Oh, absolutely. I imagine it's true. Oh, I know it's true. I mean, my favorite Manhattan I've ever had was in Manhattan. I think that's the way.
Of course it was.
Where it's local. Which, yeah, we have something. I'm like kind of pressing pause here because I'm realizing I don't know exactly what it was, but there's somewhere I was. Oh yeah, I was in Puerto Rico, just a few weeks ago, and that was where some drink was invented, and I haven't had a drink in about 3 years, so I didn't get to say that I tried it where it was invented, but it was something like super popular, like a Shirley Temple or, but if nobody knows, that's not going to make it in the segment. So cancel that. Let's continue. All right. So next news segment, let's see. We're actually going to have to not let us share this next news segment because Marshall's not on. So we're going to skip into the events. So a couple of events I want to share about what's happening in Little Rock for February, the month of love, is our Mardi Gras at the zoo, which is Saturday, February 17th. Starts at 9 a.m. I actually love getting to do the zoo with our family in Little Rock. It's a great zoo, but to be able to do it with kind of a Mardi Gras theme, I think is going to be a really good time. Then we also have on the 17th is the So Mardi Gras party. It's a parade and festival that's going to be at 1401 South Main Street downtown from 4:30 to 11:30. And on the 11th, we have the Super Bowl. So we're going to have, there's a big watch party at the GSA Community Center, which is going to be a lot of our Indian friends. And there's going to also be, I'm sure, some fun watch parties that y'all are going to go to. I'm kind of curious, where are y'all going to watch the Super Bowl this year?
I'm actually planning on hosting a little get-together at my own house, so I'm excited about it. And just going to have some close friends over and watch the game, eat some good food, and hope the Niners.
Who's playing? Who's going to be in the Super Bowl?
I'm taking the Niners if they're still in contention. I think they are.
And it's going to be the Ravens and Niners.
Absolutely. That's where I'm hoping, Patrick. Go Ravens.
Yeah. Yeah, the Ravens are going to clean it up. And it looks like I'm going to Mylan's house, so.
Yeah, same. That's actually where I want to be.
You're bringing the food.
We talk. Yeah, I'd be happy to bring the food. That sounds like a great time. Also, February 7th and the 14th is improv night at the Comedy Club. That's going to be from 8 to 9:30 p.m. If y'all don't know, our boy Patrick Beam is a rock star stand-up comedian. He's not going to be doing that night.
I'm definitely not going to do it that night.
Oh, man.
Totally not
got to come watching
us.
Dude, I want it to be you so bad.
I need to go up there and do it. That's for sure.
That would be so much fun if, as a team, and all of our friends could come and like
It would be.
support you on an improv night. That would be so fun.
Well, it would be a lot of fun,
Wish
actually.
they could open up for us. I love it.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you about my event here in a little bit. You go ahead and I'll wait.
Well, that's it. Actually, that's all I got. Tell me
that's
what other
it.
events we got.
Well, here.
Yep.
This is an unusual, a little unorthodox event, right? But on
Okay.
January 28th at the Boys Club in Jacksonville, and a lot of people don't know this, the Infinity Pro Championship Wrestling Series happens, and guess who's hosting that? That would be me.
Let's
doing
go.
Yeah, they're doing a big battle royale. There's a heavyweight championship. These guys are pros, man. And so I'm excited to take part in it and have fun with them, you know? I used to watch wrestling as a kid. I think most of us did. So I just want to be able to go, when I get you in the squared circle, you know?
Oh, I love that. Oh, I'm excited for that. Is that something that we could all go to? Is there, like,
Absolutely.
open seating or?
Yeah,
Where's
it's,
it at?
I think kids 5 and under, it's free, and then it's between $4 and $10 a ticket, depending on where you sit in the audience. But it's at the Boys and Girls Club in Jacksonville, January 28th. Yeah, and 5 o'clock is when it starts.
It's awesome. Yeah, I actually got to meet with one of the owners of the Boys and Girls Club last night. I was just curious about it because I was so impressed with the operation. I learned that those clubs, they basically operate by having, for $75, a child can go from like super young, I think it's 12 or might even be younger than that, all the way up to like 17 years old. These kids can go like for the entire school year. They can go for $75, and they go and play at these clubs, and it's like, I mean, it's awesome because they get to go play basketball. They have like some video games. They got, just all these kind of like activities for these kids. It's a great.
My son used to go to the one in Benton, probably 3 or 4 days a week after school, just to go play ball with his friends and buddies. But it is a great organization, and especially if you're a single parent or 2 working parents, that's challenging to pick up at certain times. They're so good there.
Yeah, and the administration, I was really impressed with. It's good people, and they do a great job, and they've made it very cost effective to create an opportunity for your kids to be able to go somewhere fun that they'll enjoy going after school. So that if you are working, you don't have the ability to take your kids home from school to, that's a great option for a lot of people.
It's safe and supervised, so that's hard to beat.
Yeah, that's good. I love it. Okay, well, let's move on. So I wanted to get to ask Jordan a question. So Jordan, here's your layup. Here it is. Hey, Jordan, I'm curious. If I were going to try and start investing today, like if I'm starting day one, what's the go-to place to start? Where do I begin this investing journey if I want to someday pursue a level of success that we've been able to be so impressed with what you've been able to accomplish? Where do I start? What does day one look like?
Yeah, thanks for asking. So coincidentally, this is a path that I took to build my quote unquote real estate empire. But it started with acquiring residential properties with the intent to eventually lease those out. My slogan for a while was I don't sell real estate. That was, which is funny because I will only buy. I would only buy for a long time. But about 18 years old, 19 years old, I'd saved a bunch of money, enough for a down payment. It was the same programs that we have today. Usually your first house on an FHA loan might be 3.5% down or something like that. So I saved some amount of money, got my dad to co-sign on a loan for me early, got my roommates in college to be my roommates at my house that I owned. I ended up buying 2 before I was 20 years old. And then I had just sort of my sights on just acquisitions. And I kind of did that until I had, I don't know, a lot of properties. So I'm not going to, it's not about my story. It's about, the question is what would I do what would I recommend if you were going to start in real estate? And it's still the same answer as what it was for me back in the early 2000s, which is start with a residential product because people have to live somewhere. And most people have a pretty good knowledge of their market, the direction a certain neighborhood's going. And again, people have to live somewhere. Also, repairs and things like that can be done on a budget or by yourself if you have the time to do something like that. So lots of reasons to get into residential. Also, the financing is really important on the commercial buildings that I own. By and large, they're on a floating interest rate, and that is killer. Whereas on all these residential loans, you at least know the most of what you could pay, because interest rates could go down, but if they go up, you'll just keep your current loan in place, right? And so, the financing is really the pivotal thing, as well as combining that with the fact that people have to live somewhere. And so I would recommend starting your investment career in residential real estate. And I know that you can help with that. What's up, Patrick?
Well, I have a question. I'm just curious.
Yeah, go ahead.
I am. I'm just curious, what in your world determines whether it's going to be a rental product or it's going to be a sale product?
Well, let's see. When I was acquiring houses for rental, I certainly didn't want them to be too big, or it's about the maintenance cost. So I guess size doesn't always matter, but it definitely plays a factor into it. So you kind of want to hit that sweet spot. You want a 3-bedroom house, but not one that's too large that you can't maintain it. There's carpets are hard to maintain. You have to change carpets out almost every time you change a tenant out, or at least every 10 years at minimum, and that's pretty long life for carpets. So if you have some kind of hard flooring, that's really helpful for a rental situation. But for me, I've always had a hard time ever suggesting to sell, because I really like, if you have the bandwidth to do it, I like holding on to properties. Now, what happened to me, I had about 30 properties. I managed about 220 in addition to the 30 that I owned. And it just got to be too cumbersome to manage properties. It's a lot of work, way more work than what people say in the book. So, it's a pretty active investment, when you manage any amount of property.
That's really good.
And
Yeah, so great answer.
I got out, Patrick, when my time value was better, when I had larger projects,
I love it. And one of the thoughts that goes through my mind on this is people might be a little bit overwhelmed by the idea of, okay, I need to start by buying one home. Well, the home that would be a profitable cash flow investment would maybe be at least $100,000. So they might have this hurdle of the thought that, okay, well, do I need to save up $100,000? Well, some would say that, yeah, that's great. If you can save up and then buy the house straight with cash, that's great. Dave Ramsey would give me a high five if I recommended that, probably. However, you can leverage financing. So even if you got a 20% down loan, you just save up 20 grand and you're going to be in a great spot, and you've got a cash flow positive property, and it continues to appreciate, and you've got this ability to then improve the property and then refinance it after the improvements are done, and you could actually end up getting your 20,000 back. And so you've got the opportunity to theoretically be able to buy properties with zero down after a period of, after the improvements are accomplished.
Yeah, you have the Dave Ramsey approach, which is what you're saying is sort of all cash all the time. And then the antithesis of that would be the Robert Kiyosaki approach, which is all debt all the time. I think being down the middle of those things are probably where almost everybody should lie or does lie. But there's no incorrect approach, but they're very, 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 very different.
Yeah.
And your stress levels on your day-to-day life are very different. I have high debt. Even now, it's a real struggle because I have so much debt. I don't know if people truly understand what that's like, but you know, you don't.
Can you just tell us how many dollars do you owe right now? How much debt do you have? Come on, give it.
More than $100 million in debt.
Yes, I love it. But that's leverage. I mean, that's what's so exciting is that means that you've got that much, if not way more, in assets.
Yeah, that's the idea. You know, you definitely want more assets than debt. You know, even if you don't, it puts you in a position if you owe the banks a lot of money that they want to work with you and not foreclose on anything.
Totally.
So it's kind of nice in some regards in that regard, but it's also really easy to go upside down and backwards, just like it is with any real estate investment.
Yeah.
And so actually, I wrote down. I saw that you had a chalkboard at your office here, so I wrote down the 3 C's of investing, and the old man taught me this, and I
love it.
I loved it. And I always invest with partners, almost always. It's been a way that I've been able to kind of grow quickly. But the 3 C's are cash flow is number 1, collateral is number 2, and then the last one is character. And so, you know, if you can get into an investment and check those 3 boxes, you're going to win every time. So you're looking for cash flow, collateral, and character. It's hard to get all 3 boxes, but it's worth the wait. So if you're sitting on $100,000 that you're talking about, Chase, and if you want to go in with partners, there's good reasons to do it, and there's good reasons not to. If you look for those 3 C's in a commercial real estate deal or a residential real estate deal, you're going to win. And actually, even if you don't have a partner and you're leasing something out, think about that character when you're leasing out. I've out of 20, you'll save yourself so much headaches if you just rent to good people. And I know that's hard to tell on the front end, but you're going to pay for it. You need to do all the due diligence you can to get the right tenant in, because you know that when I managed 100 properties, inevitably be 5 properties that were the bane of my existence. You know, and the rest of them are so easy, but then the bad people of the world or whatever really make your life difficult if you let them in your life, whether that's a partner or if there's a working relationship like a tenant-landlord situation. And then usually there's a track record. You know, there's rarely a situation where I couldn't have probably predicted something, especially when you look at it in hindsight, you know, and you want to give people grace and things like that. But, you know, it's good people are great to work with and bad people are not.
Yeah.
That's simple. That's great.
Absolutely.
I love a good formula. I love a good formula, Jordan. Thanks for sharing that. On the cash flow and the collateral, I get those. On the character piece of it, I'd love to hear you talk a little bit more about that. Is that the character of the partnership that you're investing with, or the character of the property or the tenants that you talk a little bit about that for us?
Yeah, I'm mainly referring to actually the partners that you go into business with. That is somewhat of a marriage, and you're going to have good times, you're going to have bad times, you're going to have medium times, and boy, does it matter who you're working with in any of those circumstances. I've had partners that I feel like take advantage of me when we do really good, and then I've had partners that I feel like make the situation a lot harder when things are going bad. So there's different sort of quirky personality types that work through thick and thin, but then the ones you want and the partners I'll keep forever are the ones that are with you come rain and come shine and are just fair. And fair to me, my wife has a real good barometer on a lot of moral things. If I'm questioning this or that, she knows true north all the time. But I have I have some sort of principles and ethics that like I just know what's fair in business, and when people are treating others unfairly within a partnership, and it happens all the time. Like the majority of my partners are on some kind of spectrum of perfect and horrible, and but you'd be shocked by how many aren't perfect. But the perfect ones you stick with, you ride with them, you bust your tail for them, and you hope that you can share that success together. Those are the people that you want to share success with, and hopefully climb to the top of the mountain and be there with them at the end of the day. So there's so many problems on properties. You don't want people to be one of those problems. You don't want your internal stuff to drag you down, and it absolutely old.
Yeah,
That's great doing. Thank you, man.
Yeah.
If you were to make a disciplined effort starting out to find the first deal, what steps would you take to practically increase your chances of finding the deal that has those 3 C's, knocking them out of the park?
Well, let's start with cash flow. It might be objectively the most important one of the 3. They're all important, but what we spoke about kind of offline yesterday, we weren't talking about what we would talk about today, but we were talking about the possibility of assuming loans and loans that are assumable. And I'm assuming that most people don't know what that means or what that is. But the majority of loans that are in existence in residential are what we call assumable loans, which means that if you qualify for the loan, otherwise, that you can inherit that loan, get that current loan that's in place from the current owner, and sort of take that from them and inherit that loan. Now, what's happened, what the situation is such that those interest rates are going to be 2.5%, 3.5%, 4%, because that's what the interest rate market was very recently, rather than 6 or 7 or 8% now. Totally. So what I would be doing for sure is contacting everybody who might be selling a property, everybody, and just let them know, like, look, I want to buy, I want to assume your loan, I'll give you good value for it, but make it clear to them that the value that you're getting is the ability to assume that loan. And then you'll be able to pay more for the property than the next person will, because you're getting the value of that loan. But gosh, if you can get something in the 2% as far as interest rate, it's saving you so much money.
Significant.
Then you can rent the property out or live in it or whatever, but your main expense, which is interest on a loan, is reduced to almost nothing because of the environment it came out of. So what I would say to somebody that's new is learn about that, research it, and hunt for that exact situation, because you'll never in our lifetimes have this little weird underground market that is this hunting for an assumable loan, and it would never have the effect that this has, which is almost 0% interest rates. So it's just get it while the getting's good. If I was 18, I would be starving to try to get as much as that as possible.
Love that. That is so good. Wow. Any questions from y'all? Nathan or Mylan or Ghost Patrick?
Wow, you hit it on the spot.
I love that topic, and I love the information to provide to any of our clients or friends out there that are looking to buy. I mean, that assumable loan, it's a power play for sure in this market, for sure.
Yeah.
And I used to be a loan officer, so I just happen to know quite a bit about these products and things like that. That's what I did through college. I'm a finance nerd. So, but you'll just have to trust me that most loans are assumable. What you need to do, though, when you contact a seller, they're not going to know. They're going to need to contact their lender and ask. And I would say about 70 to 80% of the time, their loans will be assumable. And you do have to qualify for it all the same qualifications as any other loan that you would need to get. But if it's assumable and if you qualify, then you can inherit that loan.
Love it. Okay, so this is a chance though, like if y'all have any other questions, even if it's irrelevant to what he's talked about so far, this is a great chance for y'all to ask one more question before Jordan has to go. So any other final thoughts from or questions from y'all?
I do have one question, Jordan. As realtors, we're always in the business of wanting to help the best way we can. What's the best way for us, in your point of view, to help you as an investor?
Love that. So finding properties that have good value is very valuable to any client that you're going to have, whether that's an investor client or a client that's looking to buy and live in that particular property. So that's the name of the game for me. If you called me today or tomorrow, Nathan, and you had a property that was worth $1 that I could buy for 70 cents, that's when I make money. I would make money purchasing that property, and I would be so happy to pay you for that because you've just provided value to me. It's so simple in that regard. So, that's it. And there's no way, I'm in markets in Texas and Missouri and Louisiana and Alaska, not England yet. I'm trying to slow down in my old age, but I rely on local people to find those deals for me. I'm almost never the one that finds them. And I love it. I love getting an email. I'll check it every time. If somebody has some idea about real estate, and it takes me, since I've so practiced at it, it takes me no time to evaluate it. But it's stuff that I enjoy doing, and I certainly appreciate the people that bring me those potential deals.
Yeah, text me your email there, Jordan.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, in the investment world, the deal finder is the gold miner. That is the person, the MVP of the deal is the person who can find it. It's so easy to find cash investors. It's so easy to find people with the financing capacity.
Money always follows the deal.
Totally.
I could do a whole sermon on that.
Yeah,
but I can't tell you how many people think they can't get to investing because they don't have money. But money will always find the deal. You got to find the deal. The deal is where the money is, or where the money wants to be. So, that's I could do a whole thing on that. We're not going to go there, but find the deal, and money will find its way to it every time.
Love it. Well, Jordan, thank you so much for your time. If someone wanted to contact you or work with you in some way, what's the best way for them to reach you?
They're going to have to go through you, Chase.
I love it. That's what I want to hear. You want to work with
my friend.
All right. Well, I hope to catch you.
About you, Chase. I think about this a lot, but I had the opportunity and the pleasure to kind of see you when you started at Keller Williams. And, you were just a little firecracker, energy ball. And I used to teach real estate. I taught at National School of Real Estate over in North Little Rock for several years. So I've seen, I don't know, 1,000 people that started real estate.
Yeah.
I've just always cheered for you and rooted for you. And you had that initial energy, but you sustained that for what is a pretty long career already.
Yeah.
And I tell you this almost every time I see you, but I have so much respect for you. And I guess I just wanted to say that out loud on your radio show too.
Gosh, Jordan, thank you, man. That means a lot.
I'm a huge fan of you and your family and your wife. It's just great to watch you have success, and you're just gonna have more. Because the other thing I wanted to say that I don't know if people understand is how hard you work. Like, you've earned everything. You know, you didn't take any shortcuts, and that's so rare. You know, so I just want everybody to know that I see you, and it's it's cool to see you flourish, and I hope it continues.
That means the world, Jordan, for real. Thank you. And you're a big part of that. You've been a great mentor. And I appreciate you coming on today. We'll let you get back to the UK.
Yeah, I didn't want to tell you this because I knew it would bug you, but my building right across the street right now is on fire. Literally on fire.
What?
Oh, yeah. What? We'll put that in the news section too, but the 6th and Center, there's some kind of fire going on, so my building's without power, and I don't know if it's in my building or in the street or something like that, but I'm going to go look at that real quick.
Oh my gosh. And then just yesterday, didn't you have a flood in one of your buildings?
Yeah, that's why I'm in the United States right now, is my building in San Antonio is flooded, yeah. So
fires and floods.
Yeah, I'm telling you, you're never out of the game. It's so much more work than you think owning properties. So, but I love it. So anyway, I'm going to go there right now. There's a figurative and literal fire, and
wow. Well, you're on fire, and I hope that the insurance helps you out a little bit, because you are a rock star. We are so thankful for you. We'll let you go put out that fire, and really, we really appreciate you, Jordan. We'll talk to you soon.
Appreciate y'all, and nice to meet you, Jordan, as well, Nathan.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you, Jordan.
All right, so I want to get back to one more quick follow-up on some good news. So, Marshall, I'm curious, do you have any good news for us?
My good news is very similar to Mylan's good news.
Okay.
I mean, it's the best news that I believe exists.
Give it.
And it's the fact that it's going to be 60 degrees for a few times over the next couple of weeks. This has been the worst stretch of weather in so long.
I mean, I got to go skiing in Little Rock. That was the first time for me. So I think it was the best. It was the best stretch of snow. These kids were loving it. We got to do snowball fights. We got to do a polar plunge in the neighbor's pool. That was so much fun.
Nice. Going back to a regular cold plunge today, because I took yesterday off. Going back to a regular cold plunge today, I was just chilling there. Like,
this is a warm bath.
This is a warm bath. I mean, it was still pretty icy, but it felt so cool, like tapping into that Viking part of me, breaking the ice to get in there. And now it's just cold tub of water.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome. I love that you're doing that. That's so good. Okay, well, Nathan, I wanted to give a platform for you to maybe share a little bit about how you got into the business, maybe a little bit about your background, who you are, and then what you're excited about kind of setting up with our, taking advantage of the Savings for Stars program.
Absolutely. So I feel you need to know me a little more to see why I'm so excited about the Savings for Stars program.
Yeah.
That I'm thankful to be a part of. And so I grew up in Virginia Beach, Virginia. I was a military brat. We moved all around Virginia, California, Chicago, and my dad was in the Navy. He was a part of SEAL 2-6, and so we had a really close family community because the SEAL teams were very close. The dads are mainly gone 6 to 8 months out of the year, and so you really have the whole support of a whole community. We'd always be together, every family, every day, and so I got to experience that sort of sacrifice that our veterans and first responders take every day for our country, for our communities, and it always gave me a self purpose of wanting to serve people more. Unfortunately, my dad passed away in Afghanistan in 2010, and we moved to Arkansas. We moved back home, came to Hot Springs, and I still I knew whatever I wanted to get into one day, I wanted it to be something bigger than myself, something with purpose and to serve others. And I got to meet Chase a few months back, and we started talking, instantly hit it off. And he started telling me about this program he wants to, get the ball rolling more. And it's called Serving for Stars. And it's for any veteran, any first responder, nurse, anybody that serves the community well. And what a better way as a realtor to help than to be able to help these people that put their life on the line, go the extra mile for our communities.
Wow. Yeah.
And so we call it Saving for Stars. A star candidate that works with Rackley Realty on average is likely to save anywhere from $5,000 to $15,000. And
Wow.
We just want to be able to go out there and serve these people that do everything for us. And so I'm really excited to be able to do this, and very thankful for the opportunity.
Awesome. Freaking rock star. Yeah, Nathan, I'm really pumped. I'm pumped to have you on the team, man. You bring a great energy. You're humble, hardworking, and smart. And I'm really excited for those stars that you're going to get to serve, because yes, they serve us in all those ways. And I'm really excited for them to really get a better experience when they are ready to buy a home or sell a home, because a lot of these other programs, they sound, exciting, or they seem great, but really often what they are is you end up working with these people who are willing to discount their price so much, often because they're typically like desperate for business. And so you get these vendors that maybe aren't serving the white glove service. They're not giving the high class service. They're not giving that top shelf service. And you're working with the people that are, they're looking for any leads that they can get. And so they will offer to give away all of their commission to get access to these leads of people who are, veterans or serving as firefighters, and really it comes at a cost of the experience that the star receives. They end up working with these typically less experienced, or less, the service that they provide is typically not to the same level of excellence that we as a team are committed to. And so what we wanted to figure out was, how can we make sure that these stars who are giving everything for us, that we could continue to give our everything to them and still somehow be able to not have it cost so much money for them? How can we give that same white glove, top shelf service to the people who serve us at a discount, without it being, okay, we're going to have to work with the vendors, whichever vendors are going to just be cheap enough to be able to save them money. And so this is a really great program where we have committed to saying, we are not going to discount the service. We will discount the price, but we are only going to work with the top level vendors, and we're only going to provide our top class service as a team. And so with the way that we do that, we can break it down and show you exactly how, but it's really going to be able to save on average $5,000 to $15,000 per deal for these stars. And it's great because we got some great vendors like Andrew Atkins and Robbie Wilson, and we've got, our whole team is committed to it. If you get a star candidate, we're going to serve them the same way we serve our $1 million buyers and sellers. There's no discount on how we serve them. There's only a discount on the price that we collect, because we want to give back as well. And Nathan is going to help to really pursue that as well. And I know Mylan will too, and Patrick as well, and Marshall too. I mean, y'all are all, this is really the Savings for Stars team. This should be the Savings for Stars episode, because everyone here is in some way going to help contribute towards building this program. And because Mylan, I mean, your son is now serving our country as well. And so thank you for his service. And you, I mean, that whole story of that, your family story is an incredibly inspiring and heroic one. And I want to save that story for another day, because it's powerful and it needs to have its own segment. But I just want to say, Nathan, yes, I'm proud of you for what you're doing, and excited for the energy that you're bringing to the Savings for Stars program. It's going to be a big blessing to a lot of people.
Absolutely. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else doing it.
Love it.
Excited.
Okay. Well, Oh, sorry, Marshall, were you about to say something?
Actually, that was me. Now I was just to say I'm definitely personally invested in that program now that my son is actively in the military. Excuse me.
Totally.
Yeah, he's going to be in the home buying arena soon, and so to be able to help him and coach him along with the excellence that program can bring, it's just exciting to be able to, honor the sacrifice and the effort that he gives to our country and to our everyday freedom. So that's for all the stars out there. So yeah.
Wow, that's good. Well, I want to move into our next segment, home hacks. So if you wanted to share with us, Mylan, some of the home hacks that you have in mind for how our homeowners can be sure to take advantage of these tricks and tips.
Absolutely. Well, I think it's, no secret to anybody these days that every dollar counts, especially in the climate that we're in, experiencing the inflation that our country has experienced over the course of the last few years, and just the increase in the cost of living in general, saving as much money as possible wherever we can is something I think that appeals to anybody in any financial demographic. So we had a few home hacks that can help you with that. And number one, with it being relevant to the current season in Arkansas and in the United States in general, being winter, if you have home hack number one from me is if you have a fireplace in your home or in your apartment, that some apartments have fireplaces as well. If you have a fireplace and you love to have those cozy fires in the evenings or in the mornings as you have your coffee, don't forget this one potentially drastically impacting step, which is closing the damper or the flue after the fire has been extinguished. And statistics show that if you will do this, keep the flue closed during the winter or summer when the fireplace is not in use, you can save up to 30% on your electric or energy bill in your home. There's a lot of warm or cold air that can escape through that flue, and you just don't think about it. So make a note anytime you use the fireplace or you're checking the fireplace or around it, make sure the flue is closed if it's not burning. Don't close it if it's burning.
That's really good. I think a good little practical application for that tip is, I wonder if you could say, let's just try. Hey Siri, remind me to close the flue whenever the temperature in Little Rock goes below 40 degrees. She said, okay, I've added it. Let's go.
I would even add maybe or above 60 degrees, something like that.
Oh, really?
A lot of people will forget to close it in the summertime, and it'll be open all summer. Then you got all that cold air just blowing right out your chimney.
Yeah. I need to go close my flue. I'll be right back. That's actually really
great home hack, because I didn't think about it, and then I was just looking for some ways to cut costs on our energy, and I was like, wow, 30%, that could be that. I mean, that's
a lot.
Drastic.
That's a lot. But yeah, I mean, if you're eating that's actually really good. I'm glad you brought that one up, because it's one of those things I think most people it's just easy to forget. Like, even if you know it, you're like, it's just easy to forget to go and close the flue. Totally. But doing that, to know that it's statistically going to save you an average of 30%. I mean, that seems pretty significant. So that's a great tip. I'm glad you brought that up.
Check out.
What else?
Yeah, check out energy.gov to cross-reference that stat, and then also just to find other, home efficiency saving tips. I found that on energy.gov. But so additionally, a couple of other winter weather-related home hacks that would apply right now. Drip your faucets when it's going below freezing. Drip any faucets that you have that are on exterior walls. And the way this can help you is that, one, you won't have lines freeze and not have access to water in those areas. But more importantly, you can avoid a water line bursting because of the freeze, which could end up costing you lots of money, even potentially insurance claims. And so drip those faucets. It's worth the few extra pennies for the few nights that you might have to drip them, and avoid the the cost of repairs or lack of having access to that water. Drip your faucets under 32. And then don't forget, in that same vein, don't forget about the outdoor water faucets. There's little insulators that you can get for like $5 to $10 at Lowe's or Home Depot. Most houses don't have more than 1 or 2, maybe 3 water faucets on the outside that just need to be covered up in the winter months. Those are prone to freeze as well because they're outside and they're not in the heated environment of your home. So insulate your outdoor water faucets. And then home hack number 3 is, this is a free service you can find. I've got,
this is massive. I'm a huge fan of what you're about to say, so listen up. This is good.
This is great. So a free service that you can find any town in Arkansas, and most states I believe now offer this, but a home efficiency audit or a home energy audit. There's companies out there that will come and do this at your house for free. And it is a thorough, exhaustive test that they will do against your home's ability to maintain a temperature, whether in the cold or winter months.
So good.
They come in and they test the pressure escaping or getting into your home. And then based on that, they'll make recommendations of sealing your windows more properly, or getting better doors or windows in general, or maybe even adding some insulation in your attic or sealing up the HVAC system in your home. There may be costs associated with some of those repairs, but the audit is free. And I'm telling you, you want to have it done, because I promise you, if you go home tonight, take this right now, go home and do this. Walk around your home in your nice, warm, cozy home and just feel around the doors and the windows in your home and notice how much cold air is coming in. You will be amazed at how much you could save if you just sealed up your windows and doors. And these companies can tell you exactly how to do it for free.
That's right. Yeah. And so they'll tell you how they can do it for free. And some of the things they might tell you to do would potentially cost some for the improvements to help, and it'll be a profitable investment to do it over a period of time anyway. But most of what they'll advise is actually able to be covered by the government, because the government wants to have our people not wasting money unnecessarily and or wasting energy. So that's the way these audits work, is that, you know, companies like Home Energy RX are incentivized and funded to help accomplish some of these improvements, because it will bless the community entirely to stop wasting so much energy. So it is important that every homeowner take advantage of the free audit, and at the very least take advantage of the free improvements and services that they may be able to accomplish while they're there. And I've done it on a few of our houses, and we've only had to pay for on one of them. There was something that we could do that would be an improvement for us, but 2 of them we didn't even have to pay. It was a free audit and a free job that they were able to improve the energy efficiency of our house. And so that's something I would encourage all of our friends and family to make sure that they have done, if they haven't already, is to reach out to Home Energy RX. We've got some contacts there that we'd love to connect you with directly. If you have questions or concerns about it, feel free to call us directly. We're going to assign Mylan the responsibility for these. So point your questions about this to Mylan. He'll make sure you get into with the right people at Home Energy RX. There's a couple of other companies that you can work with on that too, but those have been the people that have done the most work with us.
Yeah,
that's great. Great, Mylan. That's a great tip. And so, yeah, I've got to move on to our next segment here. I just kind of wanted to throw this on y'all, see how this goes. This may make it into the episode, it might not, no big deal. But I've got this little infographic that breaks down the average lifespan of certain things in your home. And I just had this idea of, I wonder how aware our team is about the average life expectancy of these certain things. So I was going to maybe throw out a couple of these that are a little, just some of these major appliances and items in the home and see if y'all could guess who could guess the most accurate estimate as to the life expectancy for these products in our house. Does that sound like something y'all would want to do?
What's up for stakes here? What's the prize?
Well, I actually thought about saying that whoever wins gets $1,000, but I wouldn't actually give it just so that the video would look good. Can we just say we're giving away $1,000, and then that way the video looks great and gets all these likes, but it's between us. Like, I am not going to pay you $1,000. I would not. That's awful. That is so. Oh yeah, yayas. Okay, whoever can guess most accurately on the most number of items is going to get a dinner for two at Yaya's on the Rackley team. So, and it's going to be dinner with me. So you and me are going to go to dinner. No, just kidding. You and the lover of your choosing can have a nice dinner at Yaya's. Okay. So, item number 1, the furnace. How long, on average, does a furnace last? What's your guess? I'm not going first. Oh, okay, yeah, that's a good point. I think we all have to guess at the same time. So what is the average life expectancy range of your furnace at your house? We're going to show it. 3, 2, 1, go. 16 to 21 on Marshall. Nathan, what does yours say? 10 to 15?
10 to 15.
Y'all better not be using ChatGPT.
I promise.
No. Okay, so Mylan had 15 to 20. What is it? 15?
20.
What is it? 15 to 20. And what was yours, Nathan?
10 to 15.
Okay, Mylan gets the prize. It is 15 to 18 years.
Mm-hmm.
So Mylan gets 1 point here. I'm going to open up my note and keep track of that. 1, Mylan. Or actually, the easiest way to do this, I'll say Mylan. 1. Okay. All right, next one. What is the average life expectancy of your air conditioning unit? And it's a range. 3, 2, 1. Show me the money. We got 10 to 12, 15 to 18, 15 to 20. The correct answer is 10 to 15. Who got that?
I said 10 to 12.
That'll be it. Marshall, what was yours?
15 to 18.
Yeah, 10 to 12. Okay, so Mylan's got 2. It's almost like he's the only one here that owns a home.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm actually wondering if this would be, I really want to do this. I'll do 5. And then we should do this again when we can get like Ramsey and Patrick on here.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. What is the average life expectancy for the roof? Ooh, that's tricky because different roofs, but let's just specify for asphalt shingles. Asphalt shingles, what's the life expectancy average? 3, 2, 1. Show me the money. 17 years. 15 years.
15 to 20 again.
15 to 20. So technically that's a tie between Marshall and Nathan because the answer is 20. The average of 15 to 20 is 17. So y'all both said 17. So we need to have a tiebreaker here. What is the life expectancy just between Marshall and Nathan here of the toilet? This is...
Oh.
Yeah. The life expectancy.
Depends on whose house it's in.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. Give it to me.
21, 22.
Those are great guesses. Okay, so that was kind of a trick question. The answer is it's actually a lifetime. It doesn't ever actually go out. So that whoever had the largest number wins. So, Nate,
By Warren.
there we go. That's so interesting. Y'all both guessed so close. Okay, so Nathan's got one. This will be the last one. Okay, we've got trying to think which one would be a good one. A wooden deck. The exterior deck in your, that overlooks your backyard. What's the average life expectancy of that before you need to replace it?
Question: are they maintaining the deck? Because if they're maintaining the deck, they might not have to replace it.
That's exactly right. If they're maintaining it really well, or if it's a composite wood, it's going to be very different. But let's just say average, like 2x4, stained, and they're doing normal maintenance. It's not some composite wood that's, engineered for longevity. It's just an average.
This question is a trigger for me. The home that we just bought, the deck is it's old and it needs to be replaced, and I'm really not.
Dang. Okay, I want to hear your answers. And this is actually a range, by the way, so feel free to give the range. I'm going to ask for your answers to be submitted in 3, 2, 1. Give it to me. 8 to 12, 12 to 14, and 25. No way. It is 10 to 15 years.
What? This deck is
Who wins that one? Is that
my house
Marshall?
was built in '84.
Oh my gosh, no way.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Okay, so Nathan's got one. Marshall, did you get one?
I mean, if I won that one, then that would be one.
Yeah, I think you got one. Listen, I think that means Mylan won. That's it.
Congrats, Molly.
Mylan, you are the winner.
We'll
So we're going on a double date.
I love it. I love it.
Okay, well, let's go. Let's find a time for our double date at Yaya's. Shout out to Yaya's. They've got the best baba ganoush in the city. So, y'all, thank you so much for making time to join us today and hang out with us for the Rackley Radio episode 2 for the month of love for February. We're excited to see you next time. That's all for now. Pound it, noggin. See ya. We need a better send off. That's all we got for now. Thanks so much for tuning in.